Bitrig, the agentic coding tool for iOS, is now available on the Mac. So in this video, I want to show you how you can transfer the app you are working on your iPhone to the Mac and continue working on it, and also preview it with an iOS simulator on the Mac. If you are new to Bitrig, it is an app on the iPhone which you can use for building iOS application directly on the iPhone. I will launch the Bitrig app on my iPhone to show you some apps I have been working on. I will select the first one, Emitter Lab. We will open the same app on the Mac and start working on it. So this is Core Animation Emitter Playground. With this app, you can select different simulations and preview them on your iPhone. For example, this is confetti. You can choose fireworks, rain, and more. Once you select any of the simulations, you can also customize their appearance by adjusting all these settings. For example, we can adjust scale, velocity, and birth rate in order to create different kinds of simulations. Once you're happy with the rendering, you can also copy the code. This is a pure SwiftUI animation, so you can copy the code and use it in a SwiftUI project. Also, if you don't like the adjustment, you can reset everything to the default. So I started building this app on the iPhone. By going to the menu, we can inspect the underlying code. However, editing it here is quite painful because of the small iPhone screen. So let's see how we can transfer that to the Mac. Make changes to the code and how we can test it on the Mac using an iOS simulator. If you don't have Bitrig already installed on your Mac, you can visit bitrig.com/Mac and download it. If you have the previous version of Bitrig already installed on your Mac, once you launch the app, you will see a screen similar to this one that displays the latest updates. So with the recent update, there is multi-window UI support. You can add app capabilities for your iOS app. You can preview your apps directly with the iOS simulator and also add app capabilities such as camera and microphone usage descriptions. So if you have the previous version of Bitrig installed on your Mac, you can install this update. So let's launch the Bitrig app on the Mac. Once you do that, it will show all the apps you have created previously. So over here, we have the app I just showed on the iPhone. I will double click that to open it. New in the Mac app for Bitrig. On the top right, we have this phone button. You can use it to preview your app directly in the iOS simulator. If you click the button for the first time, you will be instructed to download an iOS simulator. Over here, you have noticed it is displaying the iOS 26.2 simulator. I have that already installed. On the left, we have the prompt panel. This consists of the previous prompts I added in building the application. So we can click the button to launch the iOS simulator to preview the app. If you launch it for the first time, it will take a while. So that displays the same application I showed you previously on my iPhone. We have different kinds of simulations to display, and if you want to adjust them, you click this button. You can change the scale, lifetime, velocity, birth rate, and more. Once you are satisfied with a particular setting, you can copy the code and use it in a SwiftUI application. With the code copied to the clipboard, I'll go to the browser and show you how it looks like. I have it already in my clipboard, so I'll paste it here. The current selected effect is confetti. And over here, we have all the adjusted settings. We can go back to the preview again and change it from confetti and select fireworks. We can make some changes and then I'll copy the code. I will select everything here and paste it. So you have noticed we now have the fireworks effect with all the adjusted settings. Once the simulator is running, you can click the button again to stop it. You can share your app in various ways and also click this button to distribute it. We can click the gear icon to set workspace-based configurations. So once you adjust any of these settings, it will only affect this app. After this screen, I'll show you how to perform global settings. So from here, you can adjust your app name. You can change the accent color to different color you want. You can change the symbol and color. To use a different symbol name, you can launch the SF Symbols app and use any symbol you want. You can set custom instructions only for this project. Distribution allows you to set the app version as well as the minimum iOS version. Under capabilities, you can, for example, add camera and microphone usage descriptions. If the app you are building supports voice recording and access to the user's camera, This is how to adjust your workspace settings. By clicking Bitrig in the toolbar, you can click Settings to adjust your global configurations. So anything you do here will affect the Bitrig app. Instead of a specific workspace, you can perform account settings or personalize the Bitrig app with custom instructions for the agent. Let's open one of the other apps I was working on. So over here, you have noticed I built this app with a series of prompts. So we can go ahead and preview the app in the same way we did previously. Let's click this button to preview it with the simulator. So this is a mesh gradient playground. We can adjust the different gradient points and copy the SwiftUI code and use it in other projects. You can change the width and height. You change the colors to any color you want. And once you do that, the code also changes. So over here, you can copy the code similar to what we did previously. I'll select everything here and replace it. You have noticed we have our mesh gradient, which can be used in any SwiftUI project. So this is how the markup for Bitrig works. You can start building your iOS app with the iPhone version and transfer that to the Mac to start working on it. Any changes you make to the app on the Mac will be reflected immediately in the iOS app as well.